For Splodinator.com, I'm Newbs, and you are...
Weskimo.
And we're back with yet another review. This time, we've done something a little different. Rather than one of us giving the other a new game to play, we've both tried out a new game together.
It was
new to us.
Yeah, it was new to both of us. It was something that neither of us had had a chance to try out before.
Yeah.
And I was pretty excited to try it out. We had a couple of really good days with it, I guess.
Really if you say days. So, long days.
Long days.
This is, of course, the world of Warcraft.
Arguably one of the biggest franchises in the world. And yeah, I'm glad we actually had a chance to sit down and try it out.
I can't wait to start talking to you about this game. But before we do, we're going to have to change our clothes, change our beards, and join our viewers back on the reviewing couch.
So what did you think you were going to find when we jumped into this cave? What did you think we were going to find?
You know, I didn't really have a concept of what the gameplay was on a very basic level. Like, I didn't really understand the way the game would be structured. I don't know. I guess I just imagined a lot of internet people doing silly things in a large 3D space together.
It would just be a world of trolls. There were literally trolls.
Yeah, people trying to conduct weddings while 4chan was trolling them, and I don't know, just a bunch of silliness and occasionally some fighting. I really didn't know.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
What did you expect?
I expected mind-numbing grinding again and again and again, fetch quests, and I've heard that's what like the critics say that critics of WoW pretty much say that that's the biggest problem, is that it's just a ton of grinding and it's a never-ending slog of getting slightly better gear each time, and you fight for hours and hours to get a slightly better piece of equipment.
Well,
I was kind of expecting it to be like that.
Well, as it turns out, one of us was a little closer to the truth than the other.
Yeah, kind of turns out that way. So I didn't see any weddings.
No, I'm quite disappointed, actually, at the lack of just silly internet things going on.
Yeah. Well, let's start off the early levels when we started playing. I mean,
when we were young and innocent.
Yeah, and first entering the world of Warcraft.
Very early on, I was having quite a bit of fun.
Me too.
I enjoyed character creation, for example. I enjoyed kind of just beginning to be immersed in the world. By the way, we both played as pandas.
Yeah, at the request
Pandarians?
Pandaren, I think, is the race.
Pandaren.
Yes. At Salsi's request.
Yeah,
she played along with us.
So Salsi, she was our expert who guided us through the world of Warcraft.
Yes.
Again, she was innocent and early on.
She was more innocent of our ability.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say.
We'd pick it up.
She's loved WoW for many years, and she thought she would introduce us to this wonderful, thing of hers.
We shit all over that.
So early on we were having fun. I think.
When the game started, again, I enjoyed the character creation as well. I got to screw around with my panda, make him have. I think I gave him a mohawk and a sweet beard or something like that.
Kind of stuff.
It was pretty cool, and I had a lot of fun with the even at the beginning of the game there was a fair bit of story. Everything was really story driven. You got one quest and it led you into the next one progressively in a logical manner. Like you investigated this. Oh crap! Maybe we should go kill this now. Like that made sense.
It felt like there was a plot unfolding as you went along.
Like I was leveling up my character and my character was progressing, but I felt like the game was progressing as well.
Yes, because there's an actual story going on along with it.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, this is all us just in that very introductory noob area.
Oh, yeah.
Where you're learning the game through very simple quests.
While we noobed it up.
Which, we need to explain exactly how the game is structured, which this is really... I was just ignorant of this going in. It's just like you talk to NPCs, and they say, hey, we're having this problem, can you go do something? And usually it's like, kill 10 of these things, go find 5 of these things.
Introducing us to fetch quests is what it was doing.
Yeah, exactly. And I didn't expect that, because you hear the pros talk about, going on these big dungeon crawls where they're devising strategies to defeat giant monsters. And this is very, simple fetch quest type stuff.
Yeah. It's a good way to get people who've never played an MMO. Actually, I gotta give a little bit of props to Blizzard on this. Is the beginning of the game is actually pretty well structured to teach people how to control their character, how to act with their character, and how to interact with the NPCs, interact with other players even,
and without being too boring either.
Yeah, exactly.
It does draw you in. It does do a good job of that.
I found the gameplay to be actually playable. Like the controls were actually pretty good.
Yeah, I admit early on I was like, this feels like Zelda. I want a controller.
Yeah.
But I
did feel, you know what, I did feel like I would have done better with a controller. If you had given me an Xbox controller and I could have hotkeeyed 4 abilities to 4 different things, done.
Oh man, if Salsi were here, she would be...
Yeah, she'd kill us.
It was almost like the game was unresponsive. Like, you just kind of mash a key, but, things take a certain amount of time before you can use them again. And it felt like a level of separation where it didn't really feel like I was hitting the guys.
It really felt like I could have... the stereotypical WoW, like, sitting back, mashing on the keyboard with one hand, Doritos with the other, because you're not doing anything else except mashing on the keyboard.
You probably could have done that.
I feel like I could have done that. We actually played a solid amount at the first time we played, and when we left, I was left with a feeling I had fun.
Mm-hmm. But as we went on, I think problems developed, frustrations.
A little bit, and it happened around the old level 10, level 11, where you leave the story-driven area and you enter the World of Warcraft proper.
Right.
And the very first thing that happened was some random rat bastard player walked up to me, challenged me to a duel, and whipped my ass. And I'm like, wow, that was really unfair of you to be level 35 and challenging my level 10 ass.
But you know what? That was kind of the internet randomness that I was looking for.
Yeah.
It was just a bit of silliness, and it had no real consequence.
No, none at all. And I just really enjoyed that. I'm like, wow, I got one shot. That's great. That was really, really...
He initiated you into the world.
Yeah, that was really a nice... What's the word I'm looking for? Initiation, I guess. That really led me to turn off PvP.
Yeah, that was enough
immediately. That was more along the bullshittery lines I was expecting. I mean, after that, it was just... we signed on with the Horde.
Yes.
So we were dicking around in Orgrimmar and all those other areas.
Connected areas.
Yeah. Getting lost, figuring that stuff out, because I guess the free version doesn't quite have the map.
I'm not sure.
Either that, or it was just never explained to us how to run the map properly. But either way, I found it to be a lot of walking, like a lot.
So, they continue to give you fetch quests, but now it's just sort of more random. They're just NPCs who happen to have quests for you.
Yeah, and this one NPC might have a quest line. He might have, like the woodcutter dude, where we had to... Yeah, anyway, he had, like... 2 or 3 different quests we had to do in his little wooded area, and then we had to come defend him against a bunch of elves or something like that. Okay, I'm like, all right, this is a progression. This makes a little bit of sense. But then he's just like, "Okay, see ya, get out." And
that's the end of that storyline. Like, okay, you chopped the wood, you defended the guy.
I gained half a level,
and now you're on to something else of no consequence.
Yeah,
and. This is where frustration is building. This is where
our negative feelings started coming
in. I start to lose patience here. I'm not keeping involved.
Yeah,
I just feel like it's losing the story elements, the plot driven elements that were keeping me going early on.
Yeah, like when I said earlier that your character was progressing, and the game was progressing at the same time. We lost, the game was progressing. We'd accomplish things, and we'd be, momentarily happy about that, and then be like, okay, now it's time to walk some more and go find something else to do.
We did go into it as a group of, friends, IRL friends.
Yeah.
And, see, this is where you may, or, thrive, or at least have a good time, because you're into co-op gaming.
And I have social skills.
You have social skills, whereas I've suffered from a lifetime of frustration with co-op gameplay.
You also suffer from a lifetime of frustration from single-player games.
Well, you know what? I have been thinking I probably would have enjoyed WoW more if I played on my own. Because I just find it a little bit stressful. Because I was perpetually holding my team back. Right?
You are the worst teammate ever. And we did let you be the DPS.
Yeah, so to explain, you go on a quest and it's like, get 10 of this. Well, there's not like a group total. You each have to do it.
Which I found kind of silly.
So Weskimo and Sulci will get it done, and I'd be like, still doing it, guys. Or I'd get lost in some valley and just like have no idea how to get out. Like the map wasn't helping me. This complete 100% downtime for you guys.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to get too far away from your buddies.
I had fun because I got to laugh at you. But,
yes.
That was okay. But yeah, like the social aspect of the game, I understand is really important and really great for some people. But in general, I don't know. Just don't find that the MMO get into a group and then drudge through areas with that group is really my thing.
So I think if we were higher level, as you were saying, we would actually have to work together to strategize.
Yeah.
And we could each be contributing members to a team to accomplish a singular goal.
Yeah.
Whereas this felt like we were doing separate goals together.
Yeah.
And just holding each other back all the time.
I tried to enjoy myself. I did.
Mm-hmm.
We played again last weekend, and I tried. I went in thinking,
let's give this another shot.
Let's have some fun.
Yeah.
Because, we did have fun the first time.
Yeah, for most of it.
But it got to the point where it was, again, just the endless fetch quests, and they didn't seem to have much point.
It does become a job.
If we were... we joined the Horde. If the Horde was like, go kill some Alliance motherfuckers, I'd be like, hells yeah, let's go kill some motherfuckers.
Feeling like you're actually part of a story, like a greater story. This is maybe silly to say, but if this were a completely different game, where I felt like what I was doing was affecting the world around me, I could get a lot more into it.
And you know what? That now that I'm thinking about that, that is almost... When the idea of an MMO was broached to me, way back in the day, before, like even when World of Warcraft was in its inception, like it was just coming out.
Sure.
That's what I envisioned. I envisioned a massively multiplayer world where what I do affects other people and affects the world around me.
Right.
I'm not saying it sucks, I'm just saying I didn't have a lot of fun.
Yeah, so here's where we open ourselves up to criticism, because we got up to level 15 each.
Yeah, something like that.
And we probably played for, 10 hours total?
Eight,
maybe?
Yeah.
Which I've been told is a pathetically low level for that number of hours.
I am told that, but at the same time, that is from WoW players that have started multiple characters and have run through the beginning campaigns multiple times. So they know what they're doing. We were just learning to control the freaking thing at the time. So that took some time. And then getting used to how everything interacts, getting the party all working together, all at the same quest level. We did waste a fair bit of time.
Yeah, I feel like if I had just been advancing at twice that speed, I would have had more... Like, there's just like that instant hit of satisfaction. But because we were so slow, it was just so dragged out.
Yeah, that could be why we had less fun. That's what we're saying. Like we're totally acknowledging that WoW is still it must be a fantastic game if so many people play it so much. I just can't see why I'd find it fun. So we're back to the new beards and the other clothes.
How did that happen?
I don't know. Magic of editing.
And now we're gonna give this game review scores, believe it or not.
We really should have talked about this and figured out what we were going to give this before we. I don't know. Have you been thinking about this?
It's tough.
This has just been sprung on me. I don't have a number prepared, really. I've got to think back and relive my memories of
I don't
Warcraft.
want to relive my memories.
See, if I was into MMOs, it would be a good one, and I'd probably give it like a 4.5 out of 5 or something.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it?
It might just be that I'm not into MMOs, and I kind of found it personally kind of boring. Let the hate begin on the internets. Incredibly boring would be how I would describe it. So what would you give it out of 5?
I'm going to say 3.
3? 3 sounds like a good number. I can respect that it does what it's supposed to.
Yeah, very, very well even.
Yeah, exactly. It's just not something I think is for me, so I think I'm going to have to give it a... 3 out of 5 sounds about right. I would agree with you on that.
And in conclusion, don't forget to subscribe for more reviews.